Well, Stephen, first of all, welcome back to Motherwell. How does it feel to be back in this all familiar place?
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. Obviously, took the first session this morning. It's good to see there a lot of familiar faces, obviously, and some of the new boys that have come in who've impressed me this morning as well. So no, it's great to be back. Great to be back involved in it again.
And what can you tell us about that first session, Stephen? What you're bringing back to the team already?
I don't know. Obviously, it's a different voice as well for some of them, and the same old voice for a few of them that thought I'd gone. But no, listen, we get organised, and I'm not obviously going to do too much different than what Mark or Faddy have already done. It's just another person speaking, another person putting their ideas in. Ultimately Mark has the final decision on it, but we all get on well and we work well together. So no, it'll work good. As the session went well, the boys were bright and lively. And they've had a tough run of games lately, and now we've got to turn that corner and put performances on the pitch and start picking up results.
Speaking about some of the familiar players that were here already, Stephen, and obviously Mark McGee, you've worked with him as well. What is it like being back a lot among these guys, and are you looking forward to working with these familiar faces again?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, they've got a lot of good older professionals here, and I've said that in the press all the time, which lead the example to the younger boys here that are coming through. And it's a club that does give young boys chances, so it's vitally important that the older boys are 100% right with their attitudes and their application and training, and they are every day. There's never a complaint, and I just demand that they give everything. They train at 100% every day and try and better themselves every day they go on the training pitch, and that's the ethos that we try and work with every day that we're here.
You're an experienced coach, Stephen. You've obviously your time with Northern Ireland, went off to Oldham as well. What have you feel you've brought back to your career in terms of what you've learnt when you went away?
Well, obviously being in the European Championships, you're working with the best of the best and playing against the best players in the world. So, it's testing tactically. It's you've got to be spot on, and a super group of players the Northern Ireland boys were to work with, and that makes life a lot easier. Obviously Michael O'Neill's been fantastic with me, and it's something that I left with a very, very heavy heart when I left here and we left Northern Ireland. I didn't go seeking the Oldham job. I didn't apply for the job. They came to me, and obviously it was a chance to go and manage in League One, and an opportunity I didn't think I could turn down after I spoke to Mark. But it most definitely wasn't a case that I was rushing out the door and wanting to leave the place. So it's fantastic to be back again, and obviously 6 months at Oldham was a very difficult period. And obviously the time in Northern Ireland, you learn every time you're on the pitch. So hopefully I can bring some of them experiences back and help us in the position we're in at the moment.
Stephen Pearson, he came back in the January window, and one of the things that he said to us when he came was that this is a sort of club where just people want to come back. It's a nice friendly atmosphere. And what about your time before did you enjoy most about Motherwell?
I don't think sometimes you realise how good you have it until you leave. There's some great people, especially people behind the scenes. There's some they don't have thousands of pounds to throw at things, and people are doing 2 and 3 jobs at a time, and that togetherness, and it's just a happy place to be. It's a great environment to work in, and so it was a no-brainer for me. Mark asked me to come in and help him and Faddy out until the end of the season. So for me it was an easy answer.
And just looking ahead, obviously now, Stephen, it's a good run of games in terms of that tough spell is over. Dundee Saturday, how are you feeling looking into that?
Yeah, I've seen Dundee play. I came over after I left Oldham. I watched the Aberdeen game away. So, they had a good performance against Rangers on Saturday. It'll be a tough game, but I think man for man, if we match them, we'll be okay. As you said, there's been a tough run of games against the top sides in the league, and it's time now to turn that corner. We've got a run of games which we think are winnable. I speak to the gaffer, and we really do believe that once we have everybody fit and firing, that we will be able to move forward. And the league's so tight. We should be starting to look up the way, but you have to build on that and get a few performances and results in place first of all.
A lot of things have stayed the same since you left, Stephen, but there are new faces as well. James McFadden's in a new role as well. What have you made of the new boys? You touched on them earlier in an interview, what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing the manager and Faddy said to me was you'll be really impressed with the attitudes, and I think that's what Mark looks for. If first and foremost, are they got the right attitude, are they coachable? And from the first session, they're sponges. They want to take everything on board. They want to do extra training, and it's refreshing to see that. It really is. Faddy's obviously in the assistant manager's role now, and we're all helping each other. Faddy's still playing. He's still contracted the club as a player as well. So hopefully I can bring a little bit to it. And help Faddy and help Mark. It's probably nothing Mark hasn't seen in almost 1,000 games. But the three of us together, we're fine, and hopefully go and bounce ideas off each other and start turning the corner.
And just on a final note, Stephen, we spoke about the fixtures coming up, but the league table is just so tight at the moment. What are you making of the situation at the moment? It's all to play for, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the last time I spoke to Mark, we were in 6th place, and then you're looking over your shoulder now and thinking you're third from bottom. But it's so tight. One win can take you in. I think what we need to do is get on a little run of results. Once we can get that first win, get that belief back again. I don't think there's a lack of belief in the camp, and I said to the players this morning, the squad that I think I've come in now to is better than the squad I came in last time when I came in with Ian Barraclough, and I think they're the type of squad that can turn the corner. There seems to be more depth in the squad and characters that really want to learn and push on, so that gives you half a chance.
Well, we really appreciate your time, Stephen, and welcome back to Motherwell.
No problem, thank you.
Cheers.
All right.
Thank you.